As you can see, it is a full house for your Saturday edition of the Desmond Johnson Show here on Tobacco Road Sports Radio, tobaccoroadsportsradio.com. I'm your host, Desmond Johnson. I am surrounded by greatness, ladies and gentlemen. I've got the host for not just one, but two different Carolina Panther podcast shows that you can catch every single week on the Keep Pounding Podcast Network. Make sure you rate and subscribe on Spotify. It should be on iTunes, many major podcast platform. You can catch their video episodes every week on the Tobacco Road Sports Radio YouTube channel, youtube.com/at Tobacco Road Sports Radio. Ryan Smith and Ben Troupe in the house with me, former NFL tight end, who are the hosts of the Winning the Division podcast. You can hear that on Keep Pounding. And tonight we've got D. White and Shannon Smith in the house, the hosts from the Cat Cave. You can catch their episode usually about midweek as well over on our YouTube channel and on the Keep Pounding Podcast Network, powered by Fans First Sports Network. We're going to get into the NFL Roundtable in just a second, but we got to talk about what's going on in the NBA. The NBA is on fire right now. It's amazing how they waited until 2 days into opening week to drop this, where they've got Cash Patel out here telling folks who they've arrested and why, and also like a lot of names that people didn't expect. Stuff's still leaking out as we tape this, so we're trying to keep our heads above it. We'll get you the latest on that, and then we'll get to some NFL talk here. It's a loaded Saturday. It's the Desmond Johnson Show. Let's go ahead and roll that intro.
Live with Desmond Johnson, son, the live is one. Represent NC to the fullest.
Yeah, welcome to the Carolinas. Everywhere you go, the sky is Carolina blue, the finest. Live action feedback, the city need that. I've been number one, no cap. Here's the recap. Adrenaline is my addiction. I'm about to relapse. Step on the turf if you want and get your weed wet. I'm going harder than a martyr on the starter end. It's the heart of man, that's a rap like a cardigan. I'm breaking records, it's fourth and inches. I count the seconds. The over-under's my roar of thunder, my secret weapon. Yeah, the game is to be told. I don't break, I break modes. Follow me on Tobacco Road.
Live with Desmond Johnson, son, the live is one. Represent NC to the fullest.
And welcome into the Desmond Johnson Show here, Saturday edition on WWBG 1470 AM and, of course, tobaccoroadsportsradio.com, your home for Triad sports coverage. Desmond Johnson in the house, Ryan Smith, Ben Troupe, D. White, Shannon Smith in the house. Is a loaded panel. Again, you come to expect the NFL Roundtable, and we will get to that in about 5 or 6 minutes. But before we do that, we got to go around the NBA, opening week in the NBA. And about 2 days into it, as we're sitting here taping this, little do we know that the FBI would get involved, as well as the 5 major mafia families in the United States. Portland Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups, Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier, familiar name here in the area, used to play for the Charlotte Hornets. We'll talk about that in just a bit. Cleveland Cavaliers player and assistant coach Damon Jones have been arrested as part of a pair of wide-ranging investigations related to illegal sports betting and rigged poker games backed by the mafia, authorities announced on Thursday. Billups and Rozier have been placed on leave from their teams. A total of 34 people total were arrested as a result of this years-long investigation covering 11 states and involving tens of millions of dollars. It's just very, very huge. And I actually saw a clip of Terry Rozier, one of these games where he had been accused of doing this. And you're watching the clip, knowing this in the back of your head now, and it's painfully obvious that he's like literally handing the ball to the other team and just like chucking up just wild shots. It's so comical, like watching it now, like, oh my gosh. And he did this. He was in a Heat uniform when he did that. But apparently this started when he was he was with the Charlotte Hornets. So apparently he did some of this while he was a Charlotte Hornet as well, which is why I was like, you know what? We need to go ahead and take care of this and put this out here before we get to the NFL talk. Because it's making me wonder, did the Hornets kind of know something fishy was going on? They were like, let's get Terry Rozier up out of here, because they had just given him a bag, if I'm not mistaken. They had just renewed his contract, and he had like 3 or 4 years left on it when they traded him to the Heat. So that's just that's out there. Some of the newer stuff that came out though before we started taping, Damon Jones, the Cleveland Cavalier former NBA player and assistant coach that was arrested on Thursday, those names that I mentioned, apparently disclosed privileged injury information about a prominent basketball player to facilitate illegal sports betting. That prominent basketball player appears to be LeBron James. A source close to James told ESPN. Now, LeBron has not been accused of any wrongdoing, but apparently since Jones knew the extent of James's injury or his availability or whatnot, that's kind of where you get in trouble with there. I'm going to open it up to the floor here just real quick, guys, so we can get to the NFL stuff. I'll start off with you, Ryan. Thoughts on this, and the NBA is not the same giant as the NFL, where the NFL can kind of take these kind of hits and keep moving, like Spygate or something like that. Didn't affect the NFL as a whole, as a product at all, basically. Does this affect the NBA at all, or are you still excited about the start of the season, or how deep do you think this goes? Just give me your initial thoughts on this when you start hearing about this stuff on Thursday.
Yeah, it's well, one, the NBA has 82 games in the regular season, so I think it's a marathon, not a sprint in the NBA. So regular season games in the NBA, unless you're the Hornets, don't really matter because it's all about the playoffs and kind of getting, staying healthy. For the Hornets, though, being 1-0, that's great. And obviously, the Hornets are we're excited about that here in North Carolina country, because the Hornets have not been 1-0 in such a long time, or it feels like they haven't been 1-0. But as far as what you the arrests and everything like that, the person that comes to mind when I think about all this is, you remember Gilbert Arenas when he had all his stuff that came up with him? That's whose name just keeps flashing in my head. I want to know if he is somehow behind the scenes as the what they call a rat.
Didn't he get arrested too? Wasn't he in that 34? I thought I saw he got arrested today too.
I can't help, because of his past history, he might be bigger involved in a lot of this and kind of helping the FBI out. He still got arrested, sure, but I think he might have a little bit more involvement. But this whole thing is just, I think it goes deeper, like you said, than the 34 that were arrested. I think more information is going to come out. Just it's a big hit for the NBA, and it's obviously a very sorrow and tragic day for the league when things like this happen. But let's not pretend. I'll let everyone else go. Let's not pretend that sports betting's been around for a while, and the NBA and things have been participated in long before today. So let's not pretend this is not a uncommon thing that all of a sudden just happened.
Well, it's not uncommon, but it's uncommon for it to be brought up by the FBI, and to have the Gambino and Bonanno crime families involved in, like, the Chauncey Billups thing. I'm not sure. It's like a poker thing going on.
Yeah, his
with him. So I'm not sure he got looped in all this stuff. The stuff with Terry Rozier, again, you literally can go back and watch some of his games and see my man is just throwing the ball to the other team, like, at random times. Like, he's just playing like he's trying to lose a basketball game. And you don't think about it until you see this. You're like, oh, okay. And you go back and look at clips. You're like, oh man, he really was trying to he's really trying to affect this game. D, your initial thoughts on this from the NBA? Does it affect your thoughts about watching this? There's a doubleheader. As we tape, there's a doubleheader tonight on ESPN. I still haven't watched inside the NBA since they've moved over. Your thoughts on this? Does it affect your viewership of the NBA at all, and whatever comes out after this?
Man, I'm a Hornets fan, so it's already hard enough to get fans.
Let's go.
Like, sports betting, it's been around since forever. Before I was born. You used to hear about guys playing poker on the planes and on the buses when they do all that stuff. That don't surprise me. The Terry Rozier, that surprised me a little bit, because hearing that he was starting it while he was in Charlotte, it's surprising, because, like, we were gonna lose anyway. Like, what are you doing? Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you miss a shot. It doesn't matter if you turn the ball over. We're gonna lose regardless. Like, just play.
It was like prop bets, I think. Like how much would he get in the first quarter? He'd bet the under, and then he would literally just miss every shot. And then I think the last one,
on a good day.
Yeah, literally.
Terry Rozier, like, for a long time, he was a great player for us. Like, he earned the bag he got. And then, yeah, you look back on some of his games, it's like, yeah, something seemed kind of fishy. But it's the Hornets. Like, I love the Hornets. I'm from North Carolina. You didn't have to help us lose.
No, you really didn't. Help us win. Let's try that.
Yeah,
let's do something different.
Right. So the problem was, like, playing in the league, you're not supposed to be betting and doing that stuff. I get it. I 100% get it. I think this is maybe his second or third time being accused of something like this. I ain't gonna say nothing about Gilbert Arenas, because I ain't trying to get clipped up. And
I can't find anything specific that he's involved with it, other than just the rumor that he may have been the one that dropped the dime on Chauncey Billups or whatever. How he knows that? What was he at the poker game? I don't know, but that's kind of thing going around. He's having fun with it on Twitter, like posting memes and stuff. But
I'm sure, because he got arrested a few weeks ago and just got released. Like, yo, what happened? So it's like, I ain't connecting no dots. I ain't gonna call the man nothing, but it's fishy.
Ben,
I'm just saying it made me think of him. That's all. That's all.
Ben, before we have Gilbert Arenas goons come running up in here, Ben, you're the former professional athlete on this panel today, former NFL tight end. How often is this, now that you're no longer playing, I would hope you're at the liberty to kind of discuss this. How often does this really happen in the locker rooms of professional sports in terms of what he was doing? Like, do you even know? Like, do you find out? Like, is it prevalent and it's something the public don't know? Like, do players really bet a lot on sports? Because I mean, I can name a Charles Barkley or somebody like that that's known to be a gambler, or Michael Jordan, that kind of thing. But they never bet on themselves, as far as we know. This is different where not Gilbert, but Rozier was betting on, he would take a line on himself, but it sounds like he had other people betting on it too, and he'd get a cutoff of whatever they made from him actually doing what he did. Explain to me how this works, or does it even apply in the NFL? Have you ever seen anything like this before?
I have not. Now, the gambling part, yes. I mean, guys gamble all the time. I mean, on the planes, with each other. But here's the thing about the Terry Rozier thing. I mean, remember that movie Blue Chips?
Yes.
He was Tony, and he was doing this stuff, and Nick Nolte was like, there's no way. Now, this is college we talking about. What makes this crazy is, right, and I'm not comparing the two. This is like when Michael Vick went to jail, and he was like, dude, ain't no way the FBI is going to put him in jail, right? Because, and I'm not promoting dog fighting, but there are certain people that grew up around that, not saying it was good when we did it, but this thing is crazy because Cash Patel, that's the FBI dude in the government. The FBI, that's the director, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, the Chauncey Billups thing, they say is poker. You got to wait on it to come out. For those people who didn't think the mafia for real is real, it is very real. Mm-hmm. People like, oh no, this ain't Sopranos, this ain't Goodfellas, this is real life. These ain't Al Pacino.
They didn't disappear. Yeah, they're still there.
I think the Damon Jones one is the one that stands out the most. Wait a minute, Damon. Wait a minute. You played with LeBron, didn't you?
Yes, he did. He's one of his close friends.
I mean, if you are LeBron, you thinking to yourself, all right, AD got traded, got to deal with it. Wanted Kyrie back, that's not happening. Hey, dude, you heard what Damon did? What Damon? Damon Jones. He was telling people you was hurt. Nah. I ain't never seen nothing like this. And let me go ahead and put my stuff out there because I ain't no saint over here. All right. Every year in football, for the Super Bowl, they give us tickets. You gotta buy them. And you have to show up there like Will call. You got to be there to get your tickets. They put out this long video. Do not scalp your tickets. Do not scalp your tickets. We're like, yeah, man, please. You get down there.
Oh, don't get in trouble, man.
I'm not telling when this happened, but this happened. I get my tickets and I come out, and the guy's like, "Hey, man, how much you want your tickets for?" I'm like, "Oh, man, he's selling my tickets. How much you want for?" So you'll go, "Oh, man, you'll lie." I lied and said, "Oh, man, I'm selling my tickets for $4,000 a ticket." He said, "I'll give you $5,000 a ticket." Mind you, I had 2 tickets. I remember this. Listen.
I bet you do.
I remember this. And I got this money. That's the fastest I've ever ran in my life. I got this money. Meaning they got cameras. They could have got me, right? But you got to remember. So when people say, how could this happen to an NBA head coach or an NBA player? Or, dude, we men first, right? You got to throw away what people do, man. Money is enticing. And here I am. I'm down here too. I'm not in the Super Bowl. I play for the Titans and the Raiders, but we ain't going to Super Bowls. I'm down there to make money at the Super Bowl, and I had promised a couple of my teammates a ticket. Had to lie to him. Troupe, you down here? No, I ain't. You ain't have location.
Oh no.
You ain't location on your phone back then. But I would just tell you guys this: nothing surprises me when it comes to professionals and gambling. Nothing, because until you say that'll never be me. I don't know who the mafia is. I hope to never get approached by them. But I don't think people lining up to tell them no. You ain't gonna just say no. What you mean no? Ain't your daughter named this? Ain't your son named that?
What they go to school? Yeah.
I'm not. Listen, I've watched a lot of movies like y'all. I don't know. I am just giving my depiction of what I think they would say. I ain't coming at no mafia. You don't want no smoke over here. I'm just saying this shouldn't surprise you guys for this reason. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I don't believe these are the only guys.
That's where I was going to go. That's where I was going to go with Shannon, because I'm like, the whole thing, the thing that kind of stood out to me was later on in the day on Thursday, where the thing with Damon Johns and LeBron came out, and I'm like, that's interesting because LeBron's missed some time the past couple of years with injuries and whatnot, but LeBron's worth like $1 billion. Like, he's never seemed like the type that would be enticed by betting. We've never heard of him being a betting guy. If anything, we've never really heard anything bad about him off the court. Like, he's kind of been Teflon, like to everything. Like, there's no outside kids. He never really had an affair that we know of. He's happily married to Savannah. She's the first lady of the NBA. Yada yada. He's got these kids playing in the NBA. Your thoughts on this, Shannon? Do you think it's going to blow even bigger than this? What were your initial thoughts when you heard about this on Thursday morning?
Oh, I think there's going to be more. I don't think it's going to stop here, because when this all happened, it happened in the morning when we heard about Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups. It happened in the morning. Then in the afternoon, you heard a little more. Then in the evening, the LeBron injury talk came about, and you were like, whoa, okay, I'm locked in. Who's next? We trying to figure all this out. We all in here like, okay, who's next? We watching ESPN right now like this, like we looking at the bottom line back in the days. We sitting here like this, like, who's next? Who's next? They got us locked in, you know. But to me, it kind of hurts because, you know, as a fan of sport, you know, we all want to think of the sport as being pure. We all want to think of, oh, you know, these guys are doing what they're doing, and they are for the most part, or like we think. But of course, we all know that there is some dark cloud out there. There's another world outside here that Ben probably know about, can't really say. But there's another world out there that we don't get to see. And that's where that other world comes into this when sports betting comes out. So we know that in between and behind the scenes, there's some stuff going on in there. And no, you can't go in. And we can't see. So, and when it starts peeling out, when that starts going and that starts being said, that's where everyone's going to be like, oh, what is next? So, hey, I think there'll be more. We going to see.
This is just the start of that with the NBA season starting. We'll have some more of that next week on the Desmond Johnson Show. I'll see if I can maybe pull Matt Alquiza again or somebody, one of our NBA guys, to talk about that. We're rapid fire in our Saturday NFL roundtable because there's a lot I want to get into, and I want to hear from everybody here. Just starting off, going into week 8, we'll start back off with you, Ryan. There's a lot of different storylines going on right now in the NFL, but what team would you not want to play? Like, what team would you not want your team to play going into week 8 right now, and why?
Well, I'll actually go with a team that the Panthers already played and they already beat. That's going to be the Dallas Cowboys. With CeeDee Lamb back healthy again, he looks like he is not lost a step since coming back from that ankle injury. George Pickens already burnt the Panthers multiple touchdowns. Dak Prescott is playing as well as anybody in the league right now. That defense seems like it's got a little better over the last few weeks. I still don't trust it, but Dak Prescott in that offense is lethal, and they are playing some good ball. Now, granted, it's one game against the Commanders, who clearly have taken a step back this year. But I think Dak is heating up, and if CeeDee Lamb's just now getting back, and to be honest, I think that was the best thing that could have happened to Dallas is CeeDee Lamb getting injured, because that forced George Pickens and Dak's relationship to be on point. And then when CeeDee Lamb came back, that offense was a lot more dangerous with them there, and I think they're going to be a force down the stretch.
I don't think any team has ever made the playoffs allowing 30 points per game on defense. Dallas would be the first if everything stands the way it is right now. They were basically in shootouts, it feels like, all season long. That may not be the case Sunday. They take on a very feisty Denver Broncos team that has one of I think a top 10 defense, if I'm not mistaken, with head coach Sean Payton. So Dallas is up there. I've seen a lot of Dallas talk about that offense over the past week or so. So we'll check on them and see how they do. D, your favorite team. Who's the team out there that you would not want them to see in week 8 coming in here this weekend?
Man, kind of sucks that we got to go against the Bills, but I mean, it right now for me, I would say the Buccaneers. I mean, they're first in our division. They've been running our division for a while. Is Baker, since he left, he's lit the league up. He's taken that team to the playoffs. He's been the guy we wanted him to be when we signed him. But unfortunately, as Panther fans, we don't get nice things all the time.
Or sometimes we do and we just fumble them. Sometimes we do get nice things.
Literally.
Yes. And we just kind of, yeah.
It's tough because we've had some good players and we just didn't have the right coaching for it. Or we've had decent coaching, Steve Wilkes, and let him go and didn't have the necessary players that we needed. So, I mean, the Bucks, they're leading our division for a reason. They're great. I'm hoping, you know, with the way we've lit up the last few weeks that, you know, it lit a fire under us and we can continue this. But the Bucks just seem like a step or two above us right now. And that's what scares me.
And the thing with me in Tampa is that they're not even healthy on offense. Like they're still missing their top 3 wideouts, basically. And Bucky Irvin, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's missing time too, the running back. They were missing Wirtz, the offensive lineman, early in the preseason. They lost him, so they've been banged up. Baker Mayfield, we're going to talk about MVP candidates here in just a bit. I'd put Baker up there with it. Fun fact, though, the Carolina Panthers are only a game behind Tampa in the NFC South in Week 8. Look at us! Like, how did that happen? Like, I'm just along for the ride, gentlemen. I don't know when this is going to stop. It might stop on Sunday, but I'm just along for the ride as long as it lasts. Ben, your favorite team. Who's the one team that you would not want them to play going into Week 8 and why?
You don't want to play Seattle right now. And the thing about Seattle and the way they're playing is Sam Darnold has proven that 2024 wasn't a fluke. Sam Darnold is letting you know why he's up there. And they're playing Jackson Smith and Nigga. You cannot cover him. Everybody want to talk about these top receivers in the league. Give me your top DB, and he gonna make him look pedestrian. He gonna make him look mediocre. They playing team defense. They playing real solid offense. They running the football. Sam Darnold not throwing the ball away. Seattle to me is a very, very dangerous team. I know that San Francisco's 5-2. So is Seattle. So Coach McDonald, he got something going. You do not want to play them guys from Seattle right now because they could beat you up in a lot of ways.
The Seattle Seahawks are 3rd in the NFC in point differential at plus 57. The only 2 teams above them are the Los Angeles Rams at plus 58 and the Detroit Lions at plus 64. Hold on. Lost my button. I'm sorry. Shannon, if there's your favorite team, who's a team out there that you do not want to see in Week 8, the way they've been playing so far this season?
As much as I don't want to be on the bandwagon or be a bandwagon guy, I do not want to see the Indianapolis Colts. I don't, because they have, okay, I know that Daniel Jones, we've all had fun making fun of Daniel Jones. I know I have. But this tells you how great coaching is, because he goes to a different setting and he's putting out great numbers. Now, here's the thing. Indianapolis is doing what the New York Giants did when Danny Dimes was there. They had a dominant running game. Jonathan Taylor running all over the place, killing it. He's doing it. So Daniel Jones doesn't have to do it all by himself when it comes down to passing the football. They have a 2-headed monster at the offense here with him throwing the football. He doesn't have to go all crazy. He's got Pittman Jr. over there. He's got a wonderful tight end, wonderful rookie tight end, and my young man from Penn State. He's nice. I like him. I think he's going to be like George Kittle later on in his career. I like what he's doing out there. Their defense is timely, but it's that running game. I got to give credit where credit is due. Indianapolis, don't drop the ball. Don't be like the New York Giants and give away and let Jonathan Taylor walk. Don't let that man walk. Keep that man on that team and let him run the football. Let Danny Dimes play and be a change of pace quarterback. He doesn't have to go out there and throw 350 yards passing. He doesn't have to do that. He's got a running back that can just kill it. And he can pass the ball, hit Pittman Jr., hit the underneath routes with the tight ends. He's fine. But Indianapolis is scary right now, and they're leading the AFC right now. If you would have told me in the beginning of the season that was going to happen with Danny Dimes as a quarterback, I'd laugh in your face.
Yep, me
but
too.
Right now,
we
getting it.
The Indianapolis Colts lead the entire NFL in point differential at plus 92. Like this is, you're far enough into the season now with them at 6-1 where this ain't a fluke. Like they got some talent. They were drafting high in the draft past 3 or 4 years. Like, I mean, they literally have been drafting since Andrew Luck retired. And then the Anthony Richardson experiment just didn't work out. You plug and play in Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones, and all of a sudden the Colts are 6-1 in a division that they can more than likely run away with. The Jacksonville Jaguars are 2 games behind them at 4-3.
Welcome into a brand new post-game edition of Believe in Panthers here on Believe Podcast Network. Also by FanDuel. Johnson in the house with the Panthers all-time lead.
What is going on?
Stewart.
Hold on.
And again, I can get used to this, Stu. It's another victory edition of the post-game
playing,
show.
and I don't know where it is. Hold on a second.
4-3 on the season. Finished 4 of their past.
There we go. Sorry about that. Don't know what happened. Jonathan Stewart decided he wanted to butt in on the the recording there. Go find Believe in Panthers on all major podcast platforms on the Believe Podcast Networks powered by FanDuel. Yeah, Indy and Tampa. I don't think I want an Indianapolis-Tampa Super Bowl. That doesn't seem like something I'd be interested in. But you never know. You never know what might happen here. Let me move a little bit further down into the NFL. The defending NFL champion Philadelphia Eagles are still sitting atop the NFC East. But it seems like they have some sort of internal turmoil. They're 5-2. The Dallas Cowboys are only a game behind them right now, actually. 1.5 games behind them at 3-1. But the Eagles they're not right for whatever reasons. And people forget 2 years ago, last year they won the Super Bowl. 2 years ago, they started 10-1 and then lost out. And A.J. Brown arrived that year, if I'm not mistaken. My question really is, and I want to start this with you, Ben. How serious do you take the tweets and the memes and things that he puts out there? Because AJ does seem like a different kind of guy, the way he's wired. He seems like he's very religious. He reads a whole lot. Apparently, he reads on the sideline during football games. He's an eccentric guy, as most wide receivers typically are. Most good ones. They're usually eccentric guy, living on an island alone kind of guy. Do you think the Eagles would be better off if they traded A.J. Brown? Because they're going to get to a point here in the middle of the season where teams, if they're probably seeing what's going on right now, they're probably getting calls already to see, just to kick the tires, see if they would do anything with him. Technically, the Eagles kind of have 2 number 1 wide receivers. If you were the Eagles at this point, do you move off A.J. Brown as addition by subtraction, or do you try to make this thing work?
I think you try to make it work. I mean, are they a better team without him? No. But I think the thing about A.J. Brown is this. I mean, at the end of the day, the same reason why they traded for you would be the same reason why they get rid of you. A.J. Brown is the top 5 receiver when he getting rocked, but he tries to speak without actually saying words. He uses social media to be able to get his frustrations out. The reason why teams lose is because of what happens in the locker room, and it bleeds out on Sunday. If Saquon Barkley isn't who he was in 2025 as he was in 2024, Devonta Smith benefits from A.J. Brown. I mean, the thing is Devonta Smith a number 1 without A.J.? No. It's Devonta Smith because now he's going to get double. A.J. Brown, he a beast. I mean, that's all of 225 pounds. Ask Patrick Surtain. Ask those number 1 DBs who scares them on offense. They're going to say, oh, Saquon, AJ. But this is about being able to get talent. If you can get talent for him, I think you have to field calls because no one wants to be answering questions about tweets. I mean, did you see what AJ said? Hey, Jalen, did you see what AJ said? That's cool, but I'm like, no, my name is Jalen. Did you see what I tweeted? Well, you don't tweet. Well, let's talk about that because AJ is a phenomenal football player. See what happened, Titans, when you keep good football players? Anyway, that's another podcast for another day. But I do think if you are the Eagles, Nick Sirianni, he can't deal with stuff like that. I don't think Nick Sirianni is a good enough coach to deal with this type of stuff.
Right? There it is, there.
Yep. And for me, that's what it is. It's like, you notice you don't hear from Nick Sirianni. And he's already had a spat with AJ. You know, A.J. Brown, I think, is the only NFL player that has mannequins in his house that have uniforms on. The only dude I know do that. And I don't care what no one says. Whatever that Acura or whatever he drove to the game and the play, that is not his real car. I get so sick of that. He keeping his money. That ain't that boy car. I don't care what nobody say. And LeBron did not drive a Kia. I got so sick of them commercials, man. Like, LeBron drives a Kia. No, he doesn't. They're paying him. Anyway, AJ, keep it together, man, because once again, AJ wants the ball, and he's doing his best not to be a diva right now. He's trying his best not to do it, but come on, man, you got to find a way to keep that man happy.
Shannon, it feels like they're going away from what won them the Super Bowl last year. It was like play in the trenches, the defensive line disrupting everything, the offensive line clearing out huge holes for Saquon Barkley to literally flip over guys once he gets through. That's not there this year. And a lot of it's because the offensive line's different. They lost some pieces on the offensive line, and they haven't really committed to it. But it feels like when I watch Philly, they're doing play action, but they haven't been running the ball to start it. So, like, the defense doesn't respect it, and it's like they're just kind of playing off the pass. And then when they try to do the running, at that point, the game has got to a point where they can't really use it effectively, or Saquon can't get lathered up. They're not doing it early like they would do. Like they would feed Saquon early last year and get him going. And Saquon's one of those type of running backs where the more he gets, most running backs, most good ones, the more you give it to them, the better they get as the game goes on. And Saquon Barkley's the epitome of that. If you're not giving it to him early and you start giving it to him in the middle of the third quarter, like, hey, go out there and rip out some 15-yard runs. It's kind of hard for anybody to do. Do you think they should go back to what they were doing before? Or it seems like they're trying to prove Jalen Hurts can throw the football. And I don't know if that ever has really worked. I remember Carolina trying to do this with Cam numerous times where they would just go pass happy just to prove that he's not a run first quarterback. Then they'd realize, well, we win games when we do that. So they just went back to what helped them win games. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think that they should get rid of A.J. Brown, or you think they should hold on to him?
To me, A.J. Brown's not the problem. To me, it is Nick Sirianni and his inability to figure out what this team is, because they are a team that's blessed with a problem that a lot of teams love to have. Who are you going to give the football to? They have a lot of playmakers on that team, so it's going to be very, very hard to please everybody. What I don't understand about Philadelphia is they're not doing what works, because if you look at how they've lost some of their games, they've lost some of their games because they didn't know what they were going to do in the third and fourth quarter. You know, one week they want to run the football. The next week they want to pass the football. And like you said, Des, they want to have Jalen Hurts to throw the football. Listen, that doesn't work for everybody, especially with this offense. You know, the tush push is wonderful for them. It works well. Nobody else can really stop it. You know, Jalen Hurts doesn't have to go out there and throw 350 yards just for you to take him seriously. He has to win games, which is what he did last year, and win a Super Bowl ring for y'all to take him seriously. There were people putting Jalen Hurts in top 5 categories with quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Just because he won. But now it's like, oh, we want to make sure he's a top 5 guy by making him throw the football so many times. No, go with what wins. When it comes to A.J. Brown, I think him and Nick Sirianni are done. I think it's a wrap. They got to find a way to get some value out of him instead of letting him walk. Because, like what Ben said, he's trying his hardest not to go out there and just act a fool and crash out in front of everybody like your average wide receiver does with big personality. He's not trying to do that. He's trying to say, look, y'all, he's slow burning. He's like, look, y'all, I'm trying to tell you something. Listen. I
feel like it's going to lead them exploding or something.
And he's going to explode.
On the sideline, like on a nationally televised Monday night game or something, and he's going to blow up in Jalen Hurts' face or Sirianni or something. Like,
absolutely. That's exactly. Absolutely. So they got to get rid of. I think they're going to get rid of him, get some value out of him, because I think it's done. I think the relationship is done. They tried it. It didn't work. Which
would be unprecedented, really, to have to do something like that in the middle of the season instead of waiting to the end of the season. I split up these two questions because I wanted Dee and Ryan's opinion on this. MVP talk, because we're near the halfway point of the season here. Who, in your mind, is the MVP of the entire National Football League right now? Ryan, starting off with you.
Well, if you had asked me this question last week, I would have said Baker Mayfield because he's been playing so well. In fact, better than in any of his previous 3 years in Tampa Bay. But Baker kind of came back a little bit against the Detroit Lions. I know he was missing Bucky Irving. He was missing Mike Evans. He was missing Chris Godwin and company. But right now, I have to give it to Dak Prescott. I mean, he's been doing a lot for this Dallas Cowboys team without his number one receiver, especially with CD Lamb. And now he's back. But this offense is lethal. I know the Cowboys' record doesn't necessarily speak it, but it hasn't been because of really Dak. They've been losing. They've been winning, and Dak has been, for lack of a better word, he's been carrying them, kind of keeping them afloat a little bit. He's been probably one of their best players, if not the best player on Dallas this year, and he has been playing at an MVP caliber level.
D, your thoughts real quick. Who's your MVP of the league and here near the halfway point?
So Dak is one of them. I'm glad he didn't have a great game against us, but he did have a great game against us.
Right.
Josh Allen, to me, is probably my favorite right now because you can never count the Bills out. And if Lamar Jackson can somehow find a way to get his team to the playoffs, I think it's his. But for right now, I agree with Ryan. Dak Prescott is playing out of his mind. He's got 2 number 1 receivers. He's got everything he needs to lead that race. And as long as he keeps it up, I think it's his. But I kind of want to touch on what you said to Shannon and Ben. I think the same thing that happened to Debo Samuel is going to happen to AJ Brown.
That's interesting there because I'm sitting there thinking about who it should be, and you mentioned I was looking to see Baltimore. They're 1-5. They're playing Chicago at home at 1 o'clock on Sunday, and then I think it's their bye, and I think that's what they were aiming for Lamar to get back to. But if they're 1-6 at that point, I mean, hell, if Lamar gets them to the playoffs that they're with a 1-6 start, then yes, go ahead and give that boy the MVP for the next 3 years. Like just name it the Lamar Jackson Trophy. If he can do that and rattle off 9 wins, sneak into the playoffs, and still do what everybody thought they were going to do, I think it might be a wrap for Baltimore. But can't count Lamar Jackson out. Real quick, I'm going to get Ben and Shannon in here too for this. So, Ben, real quick, who's your MVP of the league so far and why?
I mean, I know it's crazy to say, but I think my league MVP right now, people don't really want to say this, Drake May. I mean, they 5-2. They're tops in that division right now, and they've already beat the Bills.
Yep.
And they did it. And even though the defensive coordinator for the Bills don't realize that Drake May is right-handed, so if you keep flushing him to the right, you're playing to his strength. They did it all game long. It's crazy to even say that because Drake May, I mean, for what he did in 2024, that's the Mike Vrabel effect. When you got a team, around him, yes, he got Stephon Diggs, which is his number one, but 5-2 in the division. They got Josh Allen in it. Sorry, I don't know what's going on in Miami and the Jets. May God help them. I don't know what's going on with the Jets right now. Drake May is my number one, and my number two is surprise. Patrick Mahomes. He coming, man. Them dudes coming.
Oh, I'm getting him. I'm getting Pat in just a bit. Yeah.
So Drake May is my number one, and I will have Patrick Mahomes boy my number two.
Shannon, who's your MVP?
I was gonna say Patrick Mahomes, but I'm keeping him second, and I'm gonna leave it at that because it's Patrick Mahomes. I ain't got to say nothing else. That man is playing some good football right now, without his best receivers in, and his tight end kind of regressing. I think he's playing some great football. But please, y'all, I know we love quarterbacks and quarterbacks win MVPs, but give this thing to a running back. Give it to Jonathan Taylor. Give that man. Give it his time. Now, down at the NFL is kind of shifting to running the football a little more compared to what they have been, and the running games have been coming back. You've got dual running backs in Detroit, and then Carolina might do the same thing again. Who knows? But right now, Jonathan Taylor's running the football very, very well. He's giving Daniel Jones a lot of confidence throwing the football because he doesn't have to do it by himself. It's time to give it to a running back. The last one to win it was AP in 2012. Let's give this to a running back. Let's break the cycle. Let's go ahead and give it to a non-quarterback this time, and Jonathan Taylor's the right guy.
Jonathan Taylor leads the league in rushing right now, 697 yards. He's a full 100 yards ahead of the second place guy, Javonte Williams of Dallas. Rico Dowdle from Carolina is third in the NFL in rushing and basically played 2 games. And he didn't really play. He split carries last week. He's still in third place. So we'll see what that is. I'm going to leave the MVP conversation alone. I'm going to go with defensive player of the year. I'm going to start making the push right now for Panthers defensive tackle Derek Brown. Like, it's time we start anointing. It's time to stop saying this dude reminds me of Aaron Donald. He kind of flashes like Aaron. No, he's Aaron Donald 2.0. Like, I've been watching. Go follow Brian Baldinger on X. Every week, he's like, man, I can't get enough of Derek Brown. He's showing film. My man is getting triple teamed. And he is throwing people around like they are children. Like, he's literally grabbing them, and you're seeing slow-mo. He's just like, he throws him over here, and then in the same move, he turns around. The running back is in the hole, and he just tackles him. It's like, what just happened? What just happened? And he does it like 5 times a game. It's crazy. He's getting sacks now. He's the only defensive tackle in NFL history to notch 100 tackle season, and he did that the year before he got hurt last year. He came back better. Like the Panthers defense was historically one of the worst defenses in the league last year. Because Derek Brown only played 1 game. Derek Brown comes back. Now, all of a sudden, you can't run the ball up the middle on Carolina. Last year, that's what everybody did. They ran it up the backs of Carolina's defense all day. Now you can't run for 80 yards on Carolina's defense because Derek Brown is sitting right there. People are running into this dude thinking they can run around him or run away from him, and they can't. I watched Derek Brown run down Tyrod Taylor from one sideline to the other last Sunday and tackle him going out of bounds. He had to run like 25 something yards. Derek Brown is like 330 something pounds. Like, and he ran down Tyrod Taylor. So I'm just like, okay, he's doing all the stuff that we said Aaron Donald was doing. Some of it he's doing a little different. And we haven't completely gave him that credit yet. I'm starting the pledge right now. Derek Brown needs to be the NFL Defensive Player of the Year. And if he keeps playing the way he's playing, I think he will be the Defensive Player of the Year, especially if the Panthers keep winning. Let me get real quick to your game of the week here, because I'm going to take Panthers-Bills, and I'll go last. But, Ryan, you go first. We'll go around the clock here. What's your game to watch this upcoming week here?
I'm going to go Sunday Night Football, Packers-Steelers. Aaron Rodgers versus his old team, the only team in the NFL that he has not beaten, which is Green Bay. We all know Aaron's going to be back with the Packers and retire eventually down the road, but that's not now. So he wants to beat the Steelers or Packers team very badly. He's not going to come out and just say it, but that is going to be must-see television on Sunday Night Football. Packers, Steelers there in Acrisure Stadium.
That's a good one, actually. That's on NBC and Peacock, 8:20 p.m. kickoff on Sunday night. Green Bay at. I don't know if it's a surprise that Pittsburgh is winning. I mean, that's kind of what Mike Tomlin does in the regular season. So I don't know if it's that much of a shock. And they're keeping Aaron Rodgers upright. If you keep him upright, he's going to complete passes. He's Aaron Rodgers. So, I mean, I kind of get it. But Pittsburgh, I think the rest of that division is a surprise. The AFC North, where we thought, Cincinnati was going to do something. And we thought Cleveland would get it figured out because of their defense. And they just – that Baltimore – I had Baltimore and Buffalo in the AFC Championship game. And now all that's in flux. So that's a good one. D, what's your game of the week? Oh, wait.
My game of the week would probably be Cowboys-Broncos.
Ooh, that's going.
That's two really, really good offenses going against each other. And Dak, you got CD back. You got everything you need on Dallas's offense. You got everything you need on Denver's offense. These are teams that are going to put up points. The defense for Dallas has been kind of suspect, but I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be a game that we're going to see a lot of touchdowns. I think CD's going to eat. I think Dak's going to eat. I think Bo Nix is going to eat. It's just going to be a good game for me. That's probably going to be the only other game I watch this weekend besides us.
That is I think the America's game of the week. It's 4:25 p.m. kickoff on CBS. Dallas at Denver. Denver has a 3.5. The Denver is listed as a 3.5 point favorite. The over/under is 50.5. So yeah, they're expecting some scoring in that one there. Shannon, what's your game of the week?
On the fence about one, but I think I've got it right here. Go ahead and give me the New York Giants versus the Philadelphia Eagles. I want to see if A.J. Brown actually crashes out. That's a joke. I'm just
keep waiting on the crash out.
But I am liking what the New York Giants are doing on offense. I'm liking what Jackson Dart is doing after they epically collapsed against Denver. Had Denver won, had them beat, and let 33 points by. How do you respond to that? How do you respond? And also, too, I want to see if Philadelphia decides if they're going to deviate from the game plan yet again. Are they going to have Jalen Hurts throw the football 60 sometimes? Are they going to have Saquon Barkley run the football? I think it's going to be an exercise of futility for both teams because these pointed out that his squad, that his game is going to be Dallas and Denver. I think whoever gets this win right here is going to see who's going to be second to Dallas in the NFC East going into the playoffs, I believe, because I think that Dallas, if they keep going, doing what they're doing, they could win that division because of the fact that Philadelphia is going to fall on their face.
Yeah, and New York's not an easy out. New York at Philadelphia, that's a 1 o'clock kickoff on Fox. Philly is a 7.5 point favorite. They've got the over/under at 43.5. Ben, what's your game of the week?
I mean, not to be the homer, but I want to, speaking of crashing out, I mean, Dolphins, Falcons for a lot of reasons. Here's the thing, right? Tua has had a lot to say recently, right? He can't, somebody hasn't told him, hey, man, stop airing out your grievances to the media.
Oh, Tua.
Now all of a sudden, you're not that tall. You know I'm not that tall, right? Yeah, but you've been seeing Jalen Waddle. I mean, isn't Tyreek Hill shorter than Jalen Waddle? And you saw him when he played. But this is why I'm really watching. If the Falcons lose to the Dolphins, Raheem Morris is in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble because the thing about it is you can't have Drake May. Bijan, right? You talking about Jonathan Taylor? Bijan, he's right there when you talking about football players and running backs, they're underperforming. And sometimes with a guy like Raheem Morris, you mismanaging talent. I mean, you talk about Drake May, you talk about Bijan, Kyle Pitts be showing, he be showing some spurs. I mean, Michael Penix is essentially in his rookie year. He played 4 games, 2024. So if you lose a Tua and company, and I think Darren Waller is on IR, it's going to get ugly in Atlanta because, like I said, last time I checked, the Carolina Panthers on a 3-game win streak. Y'all already talked about, Baker Mayfield and company have been the class of the division, and the Saints are the Saints, in 2025. So I'm just going to be watching to see, can Atlanta – you're supposed to be the team that you're better than. Atlanta is better on paper than the Broncos. The Dolphins. Problem is you don't know what Atlanta team going to show up. And because Atlanta is consistent at being inconsistent, if they lose on Sunday, I don't think that's going to keep Mike McDaniels his job, but that's definitely going to lose Raheem Morris his. Because what I was trying to tell Smitty all offseason, Atlanta radio got so sick of having to talk about Bryce Young and the Panthers. And I told Smitty, they said, what team can challenge the Bucs? They said Carolina, because they have a consistent quarterback. We didn't know Dowdle was going to look like the second coming of Jonathan Stewart and D'Angelo Wick.
I don't think the Panthers knew either. Yeah.
Right now, y'all got Chuba Hubbard is like, he at home going, his wife saying, boy, you better get back out there. You better hurry up and get back out there. But
we felt that on Sunday. We felt the pressure because they started Chuba, and Chuba wasn't getting a lot in the beginning. As soon as they popped Rico in there in that second series, bam, 10 yards. I was like, oh, no. Oh, no. We got a running back controversy going on. And I host with Jonathan Stewart, who knows better to work in a 2-back system than Jonathan Stewart. He did his whole career. He's like, nah, they didn't do it exactly right because they were doing it by series. Like, this series is Chuba. This series is you. This series is Rico. But he was like, when him and D'Angelo would do it, or him and Christian McCaffrey would do it, like whoever was the hot hand. So like Stu might start, he'll get the first 7 or 9 carries, and depending on how it's going, they might keep him in for a little bit. When he needs a breather, he comes out, McCaffrey comes in, McCaffrey goes for a little bit, he comes out. Or say McCaffrey busts a 40-yard run, he's going to need a breather. He's going to be ready to come out. Stu said he knew he was ready to come in when he saw D'Angelo break off a 45-yard run because he's going to be tired. Like, they kind of got to a point where they were symbiotic. I don't know if Chuba and Rico are like that yet. The Panthers-Bills is my game of the week because this is going to be the game where we're going to test the national media out. Because if the Panthers win this game, the narrative is not going to be the Carolina Panthers, are they for real? It's going to be Buffalo, are they a pretender? Because I've seen this story before. I've seen it happen with the Carolina Panthers. They're not going to give the Panthers any credit till it's in December and they're still winning games. Like, they expect Carolina to fail. So I'm cool with that. I'm fine with flying under the radar. I want to see if Bryce Young plays because the past couple of days he's been at practice, not in a boot. I don't know if he's going to play. They might play Andy one game anyway, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with 1 game of Andy Dalton. I'm not fine with 4 games in a row of Andy Dalton because we saw that what happens with that too. Like, the Red Rifle will give you 1. He'll give you 1. He'll give you 4 quarters. But after that, all bets are off. You don't know what Andy Dalton you're going to get. And Bryce was starting to kind of come into his own. And I think people are starting to accept the fact that, yes, we did trade up a lot for him. Yes, he was the number 1 overall pick. But no, he's not a unicorn. He's not a Cam Newton. He's not a Josh Allen. He's not a Lamar Jackson. He can't put the whole Panthers on his back and lead them to a victory. But he can be the best game manager in the game. Like, he can literally, and there's nothing wrong with that. Tom Brady was a game manager. You know what I'm saying? That gets a bad connotation. He knows how to manage this game, and he has throws in games that are just dimes. Like, he can place the ball in the top 10 of anybody in the NFL right now. I would stand on that because he's really good when he's got a comfortable pocket in front of him and an offensive line. He finally does, even though there's been some injuries on the offensive line. He's got a run game, and now finally he has a defense where he can make a mistake early in the game. And they can bail him out, and that makes him play a little freer. If he doesn't play, I'm cool with Andy playing. The Bills have lost 2 straight, and they're coming off a bye. I keep hearing this whole, the Bills are going to be seeing red because they've lost 2 in a row. They're going to be mad. Watch out, Carolina. And I'm like, that has nothing to do with anything. They've been sitting at home for a week. They want to play again, but what happened 3 weeks ago is not going to affect what they do in Carolina. Every game is different. Every situation is different. So I don't expect the Bills to come in and be like juiced up like they went in halftime of Space Jam and drank the juice. And they're going to come out and just be all like bigger than everybody else and play because they've lost 2 games or whatever. And it's Carolina. Forget all that. Carolina's undefeated at home. Whenever Rico Dowdle, regardless of what jersey he has worn, whenever Rico Dowdle has ran the ball at Bank of America Stadium, he has gone off. So if Rico gets the ball on Sunday, expect him to have a good game. Came from Asheville, AC Reynolds High School, came back here on undrafted free agent on a deal after Dallas, for whatever reason, fumbled the bag and did not sign him after a 1,000-yard season with Dallas last year. I'm going Carolina Bills. And I think if Carolina can win the way they've been playing a couple of weeks, if they can make a statement win and catch Tampa, like say Tampa loses this week and Carolina wins, and now all of a sudden they're tied for first in the NFC South going into week 9, that's something I'm interested in. That's something I'm very interested in. So I think that's going to take over, and I'm curious to see what the national media's perception is of them after the game. Because if it's a game where Carolina just squeaks it out or Buffalo messes up or something, the whole story's going to be on Buffalo. And, is Sean McVay on a hot seat? And is their window closed and all that stuff? I can't imagine them going, oh, the Panthers are for real. Look at what they did, blah, blah, blah. That's going to be weeks down the road. They got to play Green Bay. They got to play the Eagles. They got to play their tough part of the schedule is coming. So we'll see how that's going to play out. I kept these guys way longer than I meant to, but it was very, very fun. We're going to have to definitely do this again. So we might try to do this again next week. This is really, really cool. We're going to try to go ahead and get out of here for this. This is your Saturday edition of the Desmond Johnson Show. We'll be back Tuesday with a brand new edition. David Glenn from the North Carolina Sports Network will be joining me, my co-host, every other week to talk about what we saw over the weekend in sports. We will see you